Hey guys, welcome to Talk About It Thursdays with Sheila. This is my first one of these, so please bear with me as I work through the kinks. So today I wanted to discuss co-parenting. Um, my blog is discussing different things about health, beauty, relationships, and also co-parenting. For those of you who don't know, I'm a mom. I have two boys. They are 9 and 7. And I do co-parent with my ex. He is not my oldest son's biological father, but he has been in my son's life since before he was born. So if you hear me reference my kid's dad, that's the dad that I'm referring to in the video. And yeah, so he's been in my oldest son's life since before he was born, and we have a 7-year-old together. So co-parenting, and how um, I don't want to say do it effectively, but I'll talk about what works for me personally, because I've been seeing some posts on Facebook about bitter baby mamas and, basically how to not be a bitter baby mama. And one of the posts that I saw was basically summing it up saying, if your child wants to see their parent, their other parent, the absent parent, um, even if that person is not consistent, if they're calling or they're trying to see your child, you should let your child go with them or talk to them, even if they've been gone. It doesn't matter how long they've been gone. If they're trying to make an attempt to see your child, let them. So I wanted to kind of talk about that just from my perspective. I am a child who wasn't raised by my biological father. There is no shade to him or anything like that, but I wasn't raised by him, and I'm still at 29, almost 30 years old, healing from those scars of not having him active in my life. I still remember there were times where I was supposed to hang out with him, or he was supposed to pick me up for something, and for whatever reason, he didn't make it, didn't show, and I know how that affected me even to this day. So as a mom, I'm very aware of that, especially with both of my children, because I do co-parent with their dad. But as far as my oldest son, his biological father is not active in his life at all. So I'm very aware of how that may affect him, and the choices that I've made regarding, um, that situation. So, anyway, co-parenting and being a bitter baby mama. I feel like it's important to always make sure that you are keeping your children's best interest at heart. Um, and whatever you decide, as long as you lay down at night and you're at peace with it and you know you're doing this like, hey, this is to protect my child, that's what's important. Whether you let them see that parent or you feel like, no, I'm going to wait until they're 18, or whatever your reasoning behind it is, I feel like as long as you know you're doing it not because you're angry at the absent parent, not because you're trying to force something, or like, hey, you can only see the child if you see me. None of that stuff. I feel like you have to put your feelings on the back burner. As far as my kid's dad, that relationship, how it ended, I was hurt. But one thing I was conscious of is that I never kept him, never kept the kids from him, never made it difficult for him to see them, because, he was consistent as far as wanting to see them in different things. So I always tried to make his life as easy as possible when it came to the kids. And our children do love him, and they want to see him, so it works. And communication is really a big thing, just making sure that you communicate. If something's bothering you, you don't like how something is going or whatever, it's best to be rational. Don't communicate when you're angry. Sometimes I have to take a step back and time back to think about what I want to say to him, and just effectively communicate in a way that is helpful and conducive for your children. Also, not arguing in front of the children, never bad mouthing the other parent in front of the children, always making sure that you all have a united front, especially when it comes to discipline and different things. Letting the kids know, like, hey, your daddy said this, That's what we gonna stick to. You're not gonna call me and override him, or vice versa. You're not gonna call your dad and override your mom. Like, making sure you have a united front. And this is just things that work for us. I know that everybody's relationship is not like that. Some people don't get along. Some people, whatever the situation may be. So I'm just talking about my opinion and what works for my situation. But it's just best that what works best for us is keeping the children in the forefront in everything that I do. And as long as, he's making good decisions, as long as, he's keeping them safe, which I do trust him. That's the whole thing. Another thing, you have to trust that person. If they're showing you like you can't trust them, then I understand, you have to keep your children safe. Children learn a lot about everything from their parents. And it's not always by what you tell them, but it's also in what you do. So I always try to keep communication open with the kids, make sure things are working with them. Sometimes they want to see their parents interact all together as a family. So sometimes, and I know it's not possible in everybody's situation, but in ours, we have managed to build a good, strong bond as co-parents. So it is possible for sometimes us to get together for birthdays and different things for the kids. So also just keeping the children involved, remembering that they're your children, yes, but they're also people. They also have feelings, and check in with them. Make sure that it's working. Make sure that, what you're doing, again, as long as it's a safe situation, just making sure that it works for them. If they want to spend time with that parent, or, they want to call that parent, just making sure that basically I'm trying to facilitate the healthiest co-parenting relationship that I possibly can. So yeah, just to recap, trust is number one. You have to be able to trust the person that you're co-parenting with. They need to trust you. You need to trust them. Having open communication is a very big thing. And also just checking in with your kids and making sure that whatever you have going on, the children understand it, the children are okay with it, and if they're not okay with it, trying to compromise if possible. Those are the things that have worked for me and my children so far, because they're about to be 10 and 8. So, in adjusting, being open to adjust when necessary, because, I'm speaking from a person with a 9 and a 7-year old. I was going to say 8-year old, because yeah, but a 9 and a 7-year old. So let me know in the comments down below what works for you. How is co-parenting going? How does it work? What are tips? What are things you've learned along the way? I'm love to see and hear what you guys have to say. So bye for now, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Have a great night.